Today, we're going to talk about addiction to troubles. So, when I decided this topic, my attention went to the past moments where one of our neighboring aunts used to talk about their watchman. So, she was living in a bungalow, and there was a watchman, very nice, sincere gentleman. So, every now and then, he would be missing from his place. And me and my mom, whenever we would visit Aunt would have tears in her eyes and says, "Oh, his wife has developed some pregnancy complications, and that's why he's gone." And then he would come back again after a few days, and then he would say, "The father's terminally ill, then uncle is ill," and then every 2-3 months there used to be some story. He would be missing from his place. I was young, and still I felt that there's something fishy. It can't be so many troubles. And one fine day, I was going for a walk in different suburb, and I saw that man as a watchman in someone else's bungalow. I'm sure he must be playing the same trick with those people also. So 50 days working over here and few days working over there, and every time creating, excuses for some of the other troubles. And my aunt was really, really affected by his troubles. She was so compassionate, and she wanted to give him benefit of doubt. And she was shocked to hear that, oh, he's been playing this stupid game with her, and there were no troubles. In fact, he was not even married. So that was my first interesting encounter with people having a lot of troubles. But that doesn't mean that people don't go through troubles. As I started practicing as a homeopath, and as I started meeting a lot of people, helping them with their lives, I know for sure there are genuine people with genuine troubles. I also had my own patch where I had an interesting set of challenges and troubles, one after the others. And I regretted judging that gentleman for his mischiefs and troubles. I also regretted judging my patients and wondering why the hell they manifest and invite so much of troubles. Probably it would be a necessity for them. But today, when I look back, I feel, is really these trouble, are they really necessary for us? Do we really need them? Do we really manifest them, or do we really kind of get into it without awareness, or do we subconsciously attract them? So it's trying to study people who have series of troubles, or who are going through a phase of life where there are troubles after troubles. Of course, we can blame it on stars, we can blame it on circumstances, we can blame it on in-laws, relationship, terrible boss, terrible neighbors. We can have multiple excuses for that. And yet, let me tell you, there are hidden benefits and hidden agendas which we don't even realize. Number one, attention. Imagine a child who's so well behaved, playing quietly, doing his own thing correctly, and absolutely no problem at all. And suddenly that child breaks a toy. The whole family's attention goes on him. Some tries to save him, and some tries to save the toys that he's broken recently, and some tries to make sure that nothing else gets broken. And suddenly the child realizes that if I'm well behaved, If things are fine, nobody's bothered. So let me play some pranks, let me say play some mischiefs. And then he starts creating troubles after troubles. And he gets a lot of attention. And now he has a deep association of attention with troubles. I'm sure you've seen children like that, right? Same goes true with sickness. Healthy infant or healthy baby will not get so much of attention, but if the baby is sick, father may take leave, mother may hang around, grandparents come to visit, people get fruits and goodies. They even pet the child, they even hover around, they talk to the child, there are even gifts. Now you learn that, okay, if you fall sick, then all those people who never paid attention, now they're paying attention. So it's a better bet to remain sick all the time. And let there be sicknesses after sicknesses so that you always get attention. I'm not saying that everybody who falls sick have this story, but I've also seen a lot of cases where this is the history. Sickness may have brought a lot of attention when you were a child, and when you grow up, nobody really pays attention. And yet, there's a subconscious desire for attention, and this desire for attention invariably invites sickness because there's a deep association in your subconscious mind now. The third reason is excuses. Excuse from not performing well, excuse for not studying well, excuse for not doing the household chores, also an excuse for not taking financial responsibilities, career responsibilities, responsibilities of children. It helps you get away from unhappy, unpleasant chores of the day. So be in trouble, and you may not have unnecessary troubles. And here, the advantage is that you choose what troubles you want to manifest and cook up consciously or subconsciously, and what you want to avoid. Now, you might find that I'm being a little mean by judging people. These are the case histories. Very recent case history we had. There was a soul meta play a couple of months back or in a recent past. Skin trouble, horrible skin trouble. And the child was very much fine, had no problem. And what we have, the whole setup. In the soul meta play, complete unknown players were playing the different facets of her life. And what we realized is the whole trouble started when the sibling was born. Perhaps the child did not get the kind of attention he or she deserved after the sibling was born, and subconsciously manifested massive skin troubles. Skin also represent desire for touch, beliefs, warmth, care, missing care, and manifest a skin trouble so that you get attention. After you grow up, you get negative attentions, you know it. But I get attention, and that is such a big benefit that you will hold on to the original trouble or keep inviting similar troubles. And last but not the least, the personal and spiritual growth. At the end of the trouble, when you try to sort it out, you almost always sort yourself out. You know yourself better. You focus on yourself. You start loving yourself. You start knowing more about yourself, the world, the metaphysics, the ways of life, and you start associating growth with troubles. And every time you have a wish to grow, you manifest trouble. Growth is an inevitable truth of life, and so is trouble, because you almost always file the growth and trouble in the same folder of your subconscious mind. So, as humans, we have several reasons and several benefits to manifest troubles, retain troubles, entertain troubles, and get addicted to troubles. Hope I haven't been so mean and so judgmental, but I'm talking from pure clinical experience. And as I admitted, even I went through my own set of stories and troubles. I'm yet to figure out what it was. One certain factor was my growth. I realized that I did grow thanks to my troubles. And the awareness did come eventually that I don't need troubles to continue growing. Today, I know that certainly all of us can grow in a trouble-free manner. Having said that, let's do remedial recitation. But before that, if there are any questions, any comments, anything that you'd like to share, I'll be happy to listen to that and first honor that. Okay. So let's go ahead with the recitation. It's going to be a group recitation for all of us. And please keep adding your comments, your words, your sensations. And also, if there are small little aches and pains coming up, your body intelligence is trying to tell you that you need to address these factors in the recitation. So I'll incorporate them as well. Close your eyes and let's start reciting. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my troubles. Recite with me or after me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my resistance to let go of troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my resistance to let go of troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my resistance to let go of troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my addiction to troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my addiction to troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my addictions to troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my aversion to trouble-free life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my aversion to the trouble-free life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my aversion to the trouble-free life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the benefits of being in trouble. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the benefits of being in trouble. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the benefits of being in trouble. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for attention through trouble. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for attention through troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for attention through troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my difficulty in forgiving myself for creating troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to forgive myself for creating troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to forgive myself for creating troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to forgive myself for inviting troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to forgive myself for inviting troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to forgive myself for inviting troubles. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for trouble-free life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for trouble-free life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for trouble-free life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my ego. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my ego. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my ego. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my self-victimization. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my self-victimization. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my self-victimization. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my rigid beliefs. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my rigid beliefs. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my rigid beliefs. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my unrealistic expectations from others. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my unrealistic expectations from others. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my unrealistic expectations from others. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to create unrealistic expectations. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to create unrealistic expectations. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to create the unrealistic expectations. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for respect. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for respect. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for respect. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my lost prestige. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my lost prestige. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my lost prestige. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for awakening. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for awakening. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for awakening. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to raise my consciousness. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to raise my consciousness. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to raise my consciousness. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my reluctance to be the fortunate one. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my reluctance to be the fortunate one. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my reluctance to be the fortunate one. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to have trouble to be like everyone. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to have troubles to be like everyone. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to be like everyone. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for nurturance. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for nurturance. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for nurturance. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to pay attention through pains. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to pay attention through aches and pains. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to pay attention through aches and pains. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for constructive listening. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for constructive listening. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for constructive listening. With soul's love, I transform and transcend myself. With soul's love, I transform and transcend myself. With soul's love, I transform and transcend myself. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the world around me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the world around me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the world around me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the ease of life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the ease of life. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the ease of life. That's all for today. Enjoy.